Scottish farewell from Jane Irving.
Bye.
Bye for now, darling. See you soon. Bye.
Goodbye.
And the nicest way to wake up is with friends. You're with friends. You're with friends.
It's Tuesday, the 22nd of November. The time is 9:25.
Good morning and welcome to a perishingly cold day here at the dock, and no doubt also a very chilly procession for the Queen today as she makes her way to Westminster to perform the state opening of Parliament.
Yes, and most of our programme covers that important event live from London, so look out for that. We'll also be joined by the man from Burke's Peerage talking about the Queen's constitutional role. Well, let's join Mike Scott now.
Good morning. Well, we're doing Time and the Place live from Southampton this morning. We're going to be discussing adoption, not just babes in arms, but young people walking on their feet, live 10 o'clock.
Absolutely ace.
Apart from the driving, how did you guess that that was Luke before the rest of us did?
Well, he's got a Reliant Robin and he can't get them to do handbrake turns. It's a new one, though. Actually, there could be some frost and snow around tonight, so people should take care, I suppose. Yes.
And why have you been chuckling all night, by the way?
Quickly read this out. It's a sign somebody sent me. Lost dog has 3 legs, blind in left eye, missing right ear, tail broken, recently castrated, answer the name of Lucky. I don't believe it.
Good night.
Good night.
Tonight at 7:30, the...
Right, that's it from the morning programme today. Thank you for your company. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 6. Right now, with the time approaching 7 o'clock, it's time for Good Morning Britain.
Hello and a warm welcome to Good Morning Britain on Wednesday, November the 23rd. I'm Mike Morris.
And I'm Cathy Rochford, and after the news, teenagers tell us their reaction to the government's plans to relax laws on their working hours and conditions.
We're going to be joined by single parent John Ward, who'll be telling us about his dream come true, the release of his first record.
And Britain's answer to Bridget Bardot, former top model Celia Hammond, here she is in the 60s. She tells us why she's devoted her entire life to rescuing abandoned cats.
And we're going to talk to the Health Minister, David Mellor, about that regrading of midwives and nurses. And we're going to meet the brickie from Leicester, who really does think that the grass is much greener the other side of the Iron Curtain.
And there's more from Barry Manilow, and watch out for today's pop video. It's the latest from Annie Lennox, who's joined forces with soul singer Al Green, and you'll love it. Now, the main national and international news of the morning from Gordon Honeycomb.
Well, we seem to have prematurely gone to Mr. Gordon Honeycomb, haven't we?
We have. I do apologise.
The news takes some preparation and it needs to be presented in a calm way, so therefore we mustn't take them by surprise, must we? Actually, we were just talking about that single by Annie Lennox, which we're going to be showing you. It's had so much advanced plugging from the programme's editor that I can't wait to hear it myself.
I'm really looking forward to it. And Al Green is just fantastic soul singer.
That's right. Actually, there's a lot of music. There's John Ward, as we were telling you, the making of that first single. It's a dream come true, actually, and all you Good Morning Britain viewers who have seen it from A to Z will be following that progress with some interest as he releases or makes his first single. And, we must add this, Barry Manilow.
That's right, yes.
Whenever we mention Barry Manilow, there are millions of calls saying, where is Barry Manilow? What time is he on? Well, the time is about 8:40, isn't it, Barry Manilow?
That's right, yes.
Great, OK, I think we can go to Gordon now, can't we? It's time now, anyway, for the main national and international news of the morning from Gordon Honeycomb.
Piper Alpha compensation, lawyers reach agreement. 1 dead, 40 injured in Madrid, car bomb. Moves begin to bring David Evans back to Britain. And America unveils the bomber of the future. Good morning. The news from TVAM on Wednesday, the 23rd of November. The families of victims of the Piper Alpha oil rig disaster will decide over the next week whether to accept a compensation deal agreed on by lawyers last night. The offer, totalling around £100 million, is believed to be the largest ever made in Britain. The rig's owners, Occidental, will make the payments in the new year.
To St. Paul's prison in Lyon. Today, the British consulate will visit Evans. They're trying to arrange his representation in court.
Hello. Welcome to Chaos. Right. What age are you allowed to marry in this country?
Don't ask me that, please,
Police say Evans has not spoken about events, even though he's been offered a translator. They say he appears to be wrapped up in his own thoughts.
That's 43 to 46. See you in about half an hour's time. Kathy and Mike.
Keep saying it, Carol. It might just come true one day. And as Carol was saying, do take care out there in the northwest of England and the Greater Manchester area, where you've got some pretty severe conditions right now. Now, in the next half hour, we're going to find out why British brickie Chris Smith is packing up for Poland.
Plus, Health Minister David Mellor on the nurses' dispute. And, of course, there's another exclusive interview with Barry Manilow. But now, the main national and international news of the morning from Gordon Honeycomb.
Piper Alpha compensation, lawyers reach agreement. 1 dead, 40 injured in Madrid car bomb. Moves begin to bring David Evans back to Britain. And America unveils the bomber of the future. Hello, good morning. The news from TVAM on Wednesday, the 23rd of November.
Back to London.
Hold on, Jane, hold on. We were worried about Heather because Heather was it appeared to be in a trance earlier on. Heather's alive and well and full of cashmere, is he?
Yeah, she is actually. She's been incredibly docile.
You're not kidding.
Oh dear.
Morning,
She's been
Mike.
trying to get that joke in all day.
But the buck stops here.
Oh, no.
But you can't allow Heather to wander around Glasgow completely bald, though, if you two want all that cashmere on her stomach.
No, well, it's very kind, actually, because it just kind of drops off and they collect it. They don't even shear them or anything.
Yeah.
They're going to have to, though. But at the moment, we're going to trail behind Heather and collect what she leaves behind her. Here's one we knitted earlier.
I tell you what, just your own personal reflections. I mean, I've visited the East Coast and the West Coast, admittedly playing golf and imbibing rather a lot of that marvellous, well, we won't say what it is. But I thought it was the most beautiful country. What are your impressions of Balmoral, which I've never been to?
It's absolutely stunning, it really is. I mean, where I was standing on the bank of the River Dee there, and it's just one of the most beautiful bits of scenery I've ever come across. I mean, you can really understand why the royal family love going back there, and it's so quiet and tranquil, and they really can, you know, live like a normal family up there, almost in complete solitude. It's wonderful.
Despite the fact it's surrounded by James Whittaker, the Sun newspaper. What do you got tomorrow, Jane?
We're going to be meeting the man who's acting as a sort of guinea pig for the prototype male contraceptive pill. And also we're going to be meeting the gamekeeper of Glenafric, who's a wonderful character.
Jane and Meryl, goodbye for now. Thanks for after 9. Good fun it was.
Thank you.
Bye.
We'll look forward to that, won't we? What have we got tomorrow?
Barry Manilow. Bye-bye. Do we
Bye-bye.
need to say more? No, we don't.
Two videos featuring Lizzie Webb called The Body Programme and the Lizzie Webb Lifestyle video are now available in your high street stores.
Tyneside could be at risk. Speculation is growing that NEI, the region's biggest employer, will be taken over by Rolls-Royce.
There was a special visitor among the audience for the matinee performance of Oklahoma at Sunderland's Empire Theatre this afternoon. 93-year-old William Clifford of Thornhill Gardens in Sunderland had been there many times before. In fact, he used to tread the boards there, and he was there right at the start, along with the legendary Good night.
30th Laird of Balgony Castle, even though he actually comes originally from the West Midlands, and he lives like a medieval laird. It's wonderful.
All right, well, we'll watch that with interest. I bet he's single, knowing you.
No, he's not.
Thanks for all the fun. We've really enjoyed that, Jane. We've got Rue McClenaghan of Golden Girls on.
And
She's
Rusty
funny.
Lee as well.
Oh, Rusty Lee. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
To reach a decision on whether to give a £1 billion tank order to Vickers Defence Systems or to an American company. A northeast policeman has been charged with the murder of his wife on the Algarve. He's been in custody since her body was found 8 months ago.
I know why you didn't like that lingerie item. It's because you were jealous because Stuart McNeill gave his wife some lingerie, weren't you?
And I never get given any, that's quite true. Oh, thanks.
There you are. Look, especially for you. Merry Christmas, Jane.
No spots on me.
See you tomorrow. Good night.
Sweet, won't we, Michaela?
We will, 7:30. That is when it starts. So, turn your tellies on then.
Tons of stuff, yes. Carol will be all over the place. Cartoon action with Galaxy High. You name it, we've very nearly got it. Have a good week. See you next Saturday. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Place against South Africa. Strand through the week with Elaine Lipworth, looking at nursery education. Lots more news on TVAM all through the week, and we'll see you next Sunday morning. Until then, top of the morning, good morning.
The new Sinclair Plus 3 with built-in disc drive, £199. Sinclair Plus 2, £139. Both with free joystick and 6 free games.
If you use a cream to clean your bath, you know that what they leave behind can have you going round in circles, rinsing and rinsing again. But now, there's new Flash Cream. Look, we cleaned one half with an ordinary cream, the other with Flash. Rinse them down and they look the same, until you see what's left behind. New Flash Cream rinses more easily and wipes out dirt in a flash.
Hey, Thompson, do you know anything about her?
Oh, who's that, Sibyl?
No, I mean her. I want to get my hair done for my party.
You mean hair? Yes, of course. Hairdressers. Hairstyle.
The Rolls.
Oh, the Rolls. No problem. Here we are. Garage services. Car hire.
Not a Rolls Royce, the bread rolls.
Oh, sorry. Caterers. Look, there's one just round the corner. Look.
And that. Oh, Thompson, you think of everything.
Oh, that's so true, Scylla. But then, I've got a lot of answers.
Trust Thompson.
For the local answer, trust Thompson.
Hi there, I'm Peel the Seal, and I'm here to reveal new Bird's Cuppers. All you do is peel the seal. Then add hot water to reveal all that delicious taste of peel. Aha! Soups and chocolate, coffee too. Each freshly opened just for you. So for that seal of quality and taste of peel, it's new Bird's Cuppers and Peel the Seal.
With 3 little baby pups tucked away. Only from Hornby. Oh, no!
Spills clean up fast with the cordless Hoover double duty. Dry spills and wet spills too. Whatever the problem, the new Hoover double duty. It's a gift.
Roll the camera. Check energy. Level okay. Get ready, everybody. And action.
Special guest, Phyllis. with double action and charge level indicator. The perfect performer.
Questron is the fun way to bring learning to life. And as your kids grow, Questron grows with them.
The new easy program of videos from Amstrad Fidelity. Answer the simple questions, ooh, and you've set the video.
So easy, even grown-ups can use them.
The new 1989 TVAM diary is now available by mail order, priced £6.49, including postage and packing. If you'd like to obtain a copy, please send a cheque or postal order made payable to TVAM Enterprises Limited, PO Box 200, London NW1 8TQ.
And that's Monday night time. And finally, before we go, a reminder that ITV programmes return at 9:25 this morning.
Good morning. It's 6 o'clock on Monday, the 28th of November. I'm Mike Morris.
And I'm Lorraine Kelly, joining you on the morning show for the next 2 weeks. You're watching the morning programme from TVAM.
A warm welcome to you. The main news stories of the day. Police frogmen have found the body of missing schoolgirl Anna Humphreys in the River Severn 3 weeks after she disappeared on her way home from school in North Wales.
In sport, Welshman Doug Montjoy has beaten teenage Stephen Hendry to take the Tennent's UK snooker title at Preston. Finance, the CBI warns today that the strength of sterling is hitting British exports.
On the weather front, it will be a mild but wet and cloudy day in most parts, although the southeast will be dry and overcast. OK, it's just after 6 o'clock, which means it's time for the first TVAM News of the Morning with Gordon Honeycomb. Good morning to you, Gordon.
Morning, Mike. Hello, good morning.
Hands up! Circle again for the chorus. Arms up. And wave. Release your right side. Clap. If you're in your party dresses, you have to do this one carefully. And your left Green and Annie Lennox, who incidentally is apparently just about to have a baby, so we wish her all the very best with that. Tomorrow I have the rare privilege of interviewing Mad Max the Terrier, who's psychologically disturbed.
Mad Max the
Mike,
what?
Mad Max the Terrier.
What's he going to say to you?
Well, he's on with a doggy psychiatrist to try and sort out his problems.
Oh, he's coming with a person?
He is,
oh,
yes.
Who have we got? Judy Mackenzie.
Judy Mackenzie
Oh,
on Clothes Secrets of the Stars.
Oh, wow. And Paul Gambaccini, Russell Grant, so much, isn't there?
And yourselves.
Yeah, and ourselves. You weren't going to say that. Bye.
Bye.
Strong wind in exposed parts. I can't think why she found that amusing. Are you in control now? Can we move across to David Gray for a recap of the headlines?
Please.
Here we go.
A political row is brewing between Britain, Belgium and the Irish Republic.
Now, what's all this, Paul, about your growing cuttings collection?
I'm beginning to feel like Cyril Fletcher. People are sending them in to me.
You don't look like him, though.
I can't speak like him either. This one was in the paper yesterday, in the Journal, apparently. It says, in the personal column, male, divorced with quiet, considerate nature, would like to meet pleasant lady for meaningful relationship. And then the address is in there, blah-de-blah.
So what's so unusual about that, then?
Well, he's aged 2. It's true. I can't tell you what page it is, but it's perfectly true. Right.
So you want more of the same, don't you?
Why not? More of the same, please. See you tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.
Well, there's our lineup tonight on Time Teas. At 9 o'clock, we bring you...
First of all, decide what to put in your parcel and wrap it up. Then, write very neatly on a label what's inside it. And take it along to your nearest high street. There, we have collection points in every single Boots, Rumbelows and Barclays Bank. Then the Lions Clubs will come along and take your parcel to an old person who will really appreciate it.
Of course, the elderly will be delighted with tinned fruit socks. Of course, it's marvellous that we have so many collection points this year, but...
That's all for this morning. TVAM will be reporting the news for you again tomorrow morning. Thank you for joining us, and good morning.
Rain or drizzle and mild at 10 Celsius, that's 50 Fahrenheit, and moderate to fresh winds from the west. Well, that's all we have time for. I'm sorry we didn't have time for the deaf headlines tonight. That's it from me.
And that's it from me as well. See you all again tomorrow night.
Good night.
Good night.
Voices of War, Talisman and...
Can't let Lorraine Kelly go back to Scotland without saying thank you, can we? And it was fun, Lorraine.
It was fun, it was great. And I'll be back after Christmas.
You're back during or after the Christmas period?
Between Christmas and New Year.
Smashing. And what's Scots for a goodbye?
Cheerio.
Cheerio, Hen. Thanks very much.
Cheerio.
Do your last link. What's happening now?
Oh, now we're going over to Good Morning Britain. Cheerio.
Bye, Hen. Hello and good morning to you. Welcome to Good Morning Britain. It's Friday, December the 9th. I'm Richard Keys, sitting in for Mike Morris.
And I'm Kathy Rochford. And...
Good morning and welcome to Time Teas Television.
Hello, what do you do when the ferry lights go on the blink? Well, Moira Bremner will tell us on this morning at 10:40. And we always also want you to help us reunite a former tramp with his long-lost family.
And today's phone-in with our agony aunt, Denise Robertson, is on loneliness. Now, Christmas is the worst time of the year to be on your own, so give us a ring if you're going to be, and hopefully we'll be able to help. Give us a ring then. Now, we're going over to the time, the place in London with Leonid Zolotarevsky.
Good morning. My name is Leonid Zolotarevsky, and I'm here in place of Mike Scott to host a very special edition of The Time, the Place in 30 minutes. We will be linking London here in the United Kingdom live to Yerevan in Armenia for a program which will be seen both here and in the Soviet Union. Join me in 30 minutes.
Wonderful and well done.
For us, nothing very exciting really. Central and Southeast England.
Appearance certainly weighed heavily with the judges. Well, tonight she's in the national final in a nightclub down near Birmingham, and we'll be bringing details of that tomorrow night, won't we, Jane?
See you then.
Good night.
Hi, good evening. Welcome to Thursday night on Tyne Tees, and let me tell you what's happening a little later on tonight at 8 o'clock. We're on.
Much off from Margaret Thatcher, cuddling and kissing.
Secret love letter.
This is Tyne Tees Television, broadcasting to the north of England from the Pontop Pike, Bilsdale and associated transmitters of the Independent Broadcasting Authority. It's just after 9:25 on Wednesday, the 1st of April. A very good morning to you.
And Caroline Wrighton.
I'm here, they tell me, to get those early rising men to turn on. From 6:15, I'll be waking them up with their first look at the world, all the news, sport and finance.
So join Caroline with Anne Diamond and Richard Keys for a helping of the brightest breakfast in Britain on TVAM.
Productive, relevant policy.
We've come
That's
to the
what
end.
they'll get from this party.
We've come to the end of our time. Mr. Kinnock, thank you very much indeed.
That's the latest news. Sorry to end on that note. Our thoughts with the people there. We're at the end of our time. John Smith, thank you very much for being with us this morning. Thank you all for being with us this morning. Top of the morning. Good morning.
A very good morning. Welcome to Which Way, the second. Good afternoon again from our live education phone-in studio. Les, what type of calls have we been getting?
Plenty of interest in microdoors.
Microdoors, which is...
Now there's a new body mousse that moisturizes and gently softens all over to make you and your skin look and feel wonderful. Impulse Moisturizing Body Mousse. Men just can't help acting on it.
On hearing just how good Mr. Kipling's Manor House cakes tasted, a couple of rival connoisseurs decided to pass judgment for themselves.
Delicious moist cake.
Mm-hmm.
With a generous helping of the most succulent sultanas.
Mm-hmm.
Topped with a sprinkling of brown cane sugar.
Well, what's your verdict?
Think it needs a second opinion.
Mr. Kipling does make exceedingly tempting cakes.
What would you like to drink, darling?
Oh, I'd love a baby sham.
Hey, I'd love a baby sham.
What is that? Baby
Baby sham.
In half an hour's time, we'll be taking the high road, and that'll take us up to the regional headlines at 3:25 and Sons and Daughters at 3:30. Right now, though, it's a question of gender in daytime with Sarah Kennedy.
Welcome to Daytime. Well, any debate on sexuality is guaranteed to arouse personal prejudice and even embarrassment. Many people have actually said in this very studio they find it difficult to come to terms with homosexuality. So you won't be too surprised to know that for some people, on hearing that today's subject was transsexualism, we met suspicion, we met mistrust, and on the part of the transsexuals themselves, a feeling of we're not circus freaks. Try and imagine what it's like to be a female trapped in a man's body, or vice versa. Now, I have to say this, it's got nothing to do with transvesticism or being gay, as I'm sure the transsexuals in our audience who joined us today will tell us. So I really hope today that we'll just learn more about the feelings and the problems facing people trapped in the wrong sex. It's very...
all animals want what they haven't got, so do any of them want to change back?
Now, what a very good question. Who'd like, Stephanie?
Well, I was subject to media attention when, Daily Mirror, amazing sex change by the boss, all that's bad about tabloids, and lost my job. I lost my family and everything, and I've now rebuilt my life. This is my eldest stepdaughter.
Hello.
I've remarried now, albeit abroad in Sri Lanka.
Because you presumably couldn't marry here.
That's right. And there is...
Would you go back, though?
Not at all, no.
You're really happy?
Very
few people want to.
Despite all the
I'm only
sacrifices...
moving us all on because I'm running out of time. I just want to ask, in a sentence, how many... You run a helpline as well. How many people ring a month?
At Shaft, we get about 500 calls a year. Shaft is a self-help group for transsexuals. We get about 500 calls a year and about 200 actually joining.
So many more than probably one thinks. I have literally seconds. What would you like us all to do to help?
Accept us for who we are, not what we are. And just understand that we're just a person, just like you.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for today. In a moment, some news of next week's special daytime programmes with a British audience here in this studio talking to a Russian audience in Moscow. But I think now is the best time for literally all the daytime team, wherever they are. Au revoir from them as the programme comes back in September, but it is a goodbye from me. And thank you to all the daytime audiences for teaching me so much. Let me introduce you now to my Russian counterpart, Leonid Zolotoryevsky. Well, this is St. Basil's Church, and this is the Kremlin, and this is my co-presenter, Leonid Mishlebt.
No, please don't try to pronounce my name. My name is Leonid Zolotaryevsky, and I'm going to be the Moscow host of the Moscow-London Space Bridge.
What questions do you think the Russian audience will ask us?
Well, a little bit less than 1,000, but a little bit more than 200.
You're not going to tell us what? All right, we will wait for the shock. Do join us. I'm sure it will be with Leonid here. A very good programme indeed.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
And we'll leave you with a look at some of the marvellous inventions sent in by open-air viewers. Until tomorrow, adios.
Splendid weekend from us all. Good night.
Good evening. The headlines from Newsroom Southeast. A pedestrian is killed as red routes come into force. Why London Zoo is being linked to big game hunting. And where next for the Woking Wonders? The government has today unleashed its latest weapon in the battle to free London's congested streets.
So the top stories not tonight. John.
Thanks, Andrew. Well, that's it for this Monday evening. Do join us again, though, tomorrow at the usual time, 6 to 6:30. But till tomorrow, from Andrew and from me to you, a very good night. EJHearn.
Liberal Democrat break-ins, a call for inquiry into the West Country connection.
Cup glory for Bristol Rovers. Now it's a replay at Liverpool.
Bruno tells unemployed young people never give up hope.
The brave youngsters who've been honoured as children of achievement.
And Great George rings out to celebrate the Queen's 40th anniversary. Good evening. There have been demands today for the police to investigate a series of break-ins at Liberal Democratic Party offices here in the West Country.
Tonight, can it be done?
No. It is currently 10 degrees Celsius. And now we go to our local news programme, Channel Report at 6 o'clock.
Good evening.
British Channel Island ferries will not have a passenger ferry service between the islands and the UK for 2 weeks in January. Hearts and minds. What a nice gesture. That's it from Channel Report this evening. Join us again tomorrow at 6 o'clock. I'll see you then. Good night.
Good luck to you all. Cheers. Strongest beer in the world.
Not sure it's worth
Goodness
£6.
gracious me.
It's like cough mixture.
Good night.
Good night.
How's your hair off?
Good afternoon. British troops with the...
Landmark investment decision for Sheffield. It's high tech, there's no doubt about that. It's moving us into the 21st century. The role that the universities have played in this, our training agencies, has been very important indeed. I think probably the clinching point, that the quality of the labour that we've got here, that can be trained and retrained, is one that Dixons have been looking for.
Dixons will base the headquarters of their computer and electrical sales customer care operations in the Nunnery Square complex, which has stood empty for 6 years. It will create high-quality graduate jobs. The reputation of Sheffield's two universities, one of the deciding factors.
With lots of people coming through the universities, which is exactly what we were looking for. The actual site itself is a superb site, and that also actually influenced the decision.
But the character of the Sheffield people, linked to their friendly accent, also played its part.
They may like the associations with two football teams, the Full Monty, the Peak District National Park, who knows, all the attributes that Sheffield's got. It's got plenty.
The complex will open in the new year. It will take calls from across Europe and beyond, putting Sheffield at the very heart of the global technological revolution.
Dick Taylor reporting there. Bradford Health Authority has admitted a catalogue of mistakes were made in the treatment of a mental patient who stabbed his sister-in-law to death. A report commissioned by the authority says that 3 separate psychiatrists failed to notice that Nazir Aslam was suffering from a mental illness. 6 months after being released from Airedale General Hospital, he killed Maruth Bibi in front of her 3 young children. Detectives say that a man who hit a schoolgirl with a hammer before sexually assaulting her may have attacked other women. The girl was attacked as she walked home along a country lane in South Yorkshire. It's hoped that a television reconstruction being screened tonight will help track down her attacker.
The 15-year-old girl was grabbed by a man on a bike and dragged into a hedgerow as she walked along Roman Ridge Road in Scoresby near Doncaster. She was hit over the head several times with what's thought to be a hammer and knocked to the ground before being sexually assaulted. Police are now looking into a number of similar unsolved incidents in the area over the last few years. They're also hoping a TV reconstruction being screened tonight will jog people's memories. Already, a builder working nearby is reported to have seen the man. The area where the attack took place is extremely popular with walkers and cyclists. Police are confident that someone will come forward with the vital clue that they need.
One of the country's most renowned shelters for the homeless opens its doors again tonight after undergoing a complete refurbishment. St George's Crypt in Leeds has been given a £1.5 million refit, which has taken more than a year to complete. The project has been funded through charitable trusts and private donations. And tonight, the crypt will reopen when the Archbishop of York, Dr. David Hope, leads a special celebratory service. Councillors are stepping up their campaign to persuade homeowners of the merits of demolishing hundreds of homes in Halifax. Private homeowners and council tenants against the scheme lobbied councillors outside Halifax Town Hall last night. Calderdale Council is considering plans to demolish 320 homes, mainly in the Illingworth area of Halifax. It says many properties are empty and unwanted. That war of words has been hotting up ahead of Leeds United's UEFA Cup first-round tie against Partizan Belgrade. The first leg's being played this afternoon in Holland because of continuing sanctions against Serbia. And as Don Riddell reports from Holland, the Belgrade camp have accused Leeds of plotting with UEFA to get the game switched.
There was a touch of irony about Leeds' training session last night. They worked inside the stadium, whilst Belgrade, the home side at this neutral venue, trained outside. It was an image that seemed to reinforce Partizan's feeling that they have been unfairly treated.
Mi poznajemo Engleze kao džentlmene, a ovog puta mislim da to nije bilo.
We know the English as gentlemen, and we're not sure if it was like that this time.
This afternoon, the stadium at EJHearn will be ringing with the sound of Yorkshire accents and Leeds chanting, all infinitely preferable to the hothouse atmosphere of a tie in Belgrade.
Look, at the end of the day, we were drawn against Partizan Belgrade. We said we would respect UEFA's decision about where the game should be played. It was UEFA that decided that we should play here. Clearly, the team were in high spirits, as we can see, with the balls going past. Hey up.
But Leeds manager David O'Leary still feels at a disadvantage. He's been unable to see Belgrade play due to continuing sanctions against Serbia, even though the Partizan coaching staff say he'd have been more than welcome.
We weren't allowed. As British passport holders, we were told we couldn't go in there. So you should tell them back. That's why I would have loved to go in. I've got an Irish passport, to tell the truth as well.
There is, of course, the danger that with all the political implications and the comments coming out of the Belgrade camp, that this fixture could become more than just a game. However, Leeds United say the only thing that matters is to clear what's become such a troublesome hurdle presented so early in their European campaign.
Don Riddell there, and we'll have a full report on that big match on calendar tonight. Also on calendar, do join Christian and me when, amongst other items, we're apparently going to be meeting a cuddly bear who's enjoying something of a revival in South Yorkshire. We'll be interviewing that bear and finding out the full details on calendar tonight.
On BBC One.
Across Yorkshire, Lincolnshire and the North Midlands, this is BBC One with Look North, presented by Ian White.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Look North. The main news. A woman has died and 2 men have been injured after a car crashed into a railway level crossing. The accident happened at Womersley near Pontefract and is under investigation, but it's believed that a train wasn't involved in the tragedy.
The wreckage of a Vauxhall Nova shows clearly the force of this morning's crash. A woman passenger died and the driver and another passenger were injured. The level crossing at Womersley has been cordoned off all day as investigations continue, but no trains on the Nottingham to Doncaster freight line were involved.
I'm very sorry for those people who are left behind. There's something on at the church at the moment, but all I can do is go along and say a prayer for them.
Police are expected to release the names of the victims later.
A collection of clocks most bought at car boot sales fetched £25,000 at auction today. Experts were amazed by the collection put together by Ron Davies before his death. Every room in his North Lincolnshire home, except the bathroom, contained clocks or clock parts. A little girl from Harrogate who touched the hearts of many with her brave fight against leukemia has set off on a pony and trap ride to raise money for charity. 6-year-old India farmer received a life-saving bone marrow transplant last year. Now she and her mum, Joanna, hope to raise £2,000 for the Anthony Nolan Bone Marrow Trust with their sponsored round trip from Harrogate to Thirsk. Well, on to the day's sport, and in the Premiership, Leeds United travelled to Coventry and came away with a 4-3 win, but Sheffield Wednesday stay bottom of the table after losing by 2-0 to Everton. Watching the match was Harry.
23,000 fans and declining week by week tell their own story about Sheffield Wednesday. 2 ridiculous first-half goals from Barmby and Gemmell knocked the stuffing out of them. Cavoni did come on after 60 minutes, a mixed reception for him, but Wednesday are a weak team up front. And now Danny Wilson faces the inevitable speculation about his future. To watch him on pitch side today was painful, and he does have solid support here from a wedge of fans, but 1 point from 7 games says it all.
Meanwhile, in the First Division, Grimsby beat Walsall by 1-0. The QPR Sheffield United game was postponed due to illness in the London side. Huddersfield Town beat Wolves by 1-0. In the Second Division, Chesterfield lost at home to Stoke City by 2-0. Colchester lost to Scunthorpe by 1-0. And in the Third Division, Carlisle 1, Lincoln City 0, Halifax 2, Brighton 1, Mansfield 1, Leyton Orient 1, Plymouth 1, Rotherham 1, Torquay 0, Hull City 1, and the York City-Peterborough game ended 0-0. In the conference, it was Dover 1, Doncaster 3, but Scarborough lost 2-0 to Kidderminster. In Rugby League, the Bradford Bulls slipped to their second defeat of the season last night against St Helens. Bradford led the Saints with 2 tries in the first 15 minutes, but the Knowsley Roadside rallied going into the break 16-10. Despite a third Bradford try, the game ended St Helens 25, the Bulls 16. On to Rugby Union in the Allied Dunbar Premiership Division 2. London Welsh came out on top against Rotherham, beating them 20 points to 16. In the other game, it finished Orrell 23, Wakefield 13. And in the Jewson National League Division 1, Blackheath 17, Harrogate 22, Reading 3, Otley 38, Wharfdale 17, Birmingham Solihull 19. And in the second division, Bedford trounced Sheffield 53 points to 7, Kendal 39, Sandal 9, Morley 8, New Brighton 16, Stourbridge 13, Doncaster 9. In cricket, it's day 3 of the Nottinghamshire County Championship match against Sussex at Hove. In their second innings, Sussex made 315. In reply, Notts are 81 for 5. They need 392 to win. Well, let's have a look at the weather forecast for the rest of the weekend. Outbreaks of rain this evening, thundery in places, which should clear throughout the night. Temperatures down to 9 Celsius, that's 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Tomorrow it'll be dry with sunny spells, the top temperature 20 Celsius, that's 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's all from Look North for this evening. Join us again tomorrow tea time. For now though, from the Saturday team, good night.
I expect you're admiring my extra-large telescope. I've picked up a whole new galaxy on it. Have a look. It's the all-new National Lottery Stars show. There's Tom Jones, the Cardigans, Gary Barlow,